Let's get started with our first news. Arman Tsarukyan on how his family got so wealthy. Recently, Arman Tsarukyan made an appearance on the Overdogs podcast, where he gave fans a rare and honest look into his personal life, specifically opening up about how his family came to be so wealthy. Right from the start, his comments turned heads. With a confident tone, Arman said, "Millions is not enough. Billions is enough." That one sentence alone made it clear that we weren't talking about ordinary wealth. We were talking about the kind of money that sets families apart for generations. Naturally, the host wanted to dig deeper. Was his family's fortune the result of some massive construction empire? Did they build entire cities, develop luxury real estate, or get involved in international projects? Arman cleared up the speculation right away. He responded, no, my father is just in construction and he does nothing like people think. Like he's a billionaire, okay? He just invests well. He didn't describe flashy deals or a showy business model. Instead, he emphasized that his father is simply a smart, disciplined, and hard-working man. Arman made it clear that his father's wealth didn't come from luck or shortcuts. It came from consistent work and strategic investments. That grounded mindset seems to have been passed down to Arman himself. He even joked, "Maybe if I was a billionaire, maybe I wouldn't fight." It was a lighthearted way of saying that even with all the privilege that comes from growing up in a wealthy household, he still chose the path of a fighter, a path filled with risk, sacrifice, and relentless discipline. The host then asked if Arman's father had ever been involved in combat sports himself. Had he grappled, wrestled, or trained back in his day? Arman answered with a respectful tone, "No, he grew up in the village. He had the dream always to wrestle or to have kids, and they could go to different parts and wrestle." That dream, while never realized by his father, clearly influenced Arman's journey. He's living out the aspirations his father once held, turning ambition into reality. The way he spoke about his father showed deep appreciation, not just for the wealth he provided, but for the values and motivation that shaped him. What really stands out in all of this is Arman's humility. Despite the financial security, he remains grounded. He trains like a man with nothing to fall back on, and fights like someone with everything to prove. It's not just about championships for him. It's about honoring his family's story, building his own legacy, and showing that success isn't inherited, it's earned. In a world where wealth often leads to complacency, Arman Tsarukyan's mindset is anything but. He's driven, focused, and committed to carving his own name in the fight world, and that kind of motivation, that kind of discipline, it's rare. Before moving to the next news, we have one quick request for you. We're constantly working on improving our content to earn your love and support. That's why we'd truly appreciate it if you could take just a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support really helps us grow and bring you even better content every single time. And of course, don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. Let us know what you think we should improve next. Your feedback means a lot to us and we're always listening. Thank you. Let's move on to the second news. Max Holloway Injured. This week, Max Holloway shared a tough update with his fans, and it's not the kind of news anyone wanted to hear. The former featherweight champion, known for his warrior spirit and unmatched durability, revealed that he's dealing with a lingering injury that could sideline him for the rest of the year, and possibly longer. In a recent statement, Max said, "My right hand still hurts. If you have hopes of me fighting before the end of the year, probably not going to happen." Those words hit hard for fans who followed his legendary career. Max has been one of the most active and entertaining fighters in the UFC for years, so the idea of him being out for an extended period is a huge blow to the division and to the sport overall. He went on to say that he plans to see a specialist sometime this week to get a clearer picture of the injury, but even then, he didn't sound optimistic. "Things are not looking too for me fighting one more time this year." That admission sparked concern among both fans and analysts. It's not just about missing one fight. This could potentially impact his entire 2025 season. Now let's be clear, Max Holloway is no stranger to adversity. Over the years, he's taken on some of the best fighters in the world, including Alexander Volkanovski, Dustin Poirier, Brian Ortega, Calvin Kattar, and many more. He's fought through cuts, bruises, and injuries that would sideline most athletes. But a hand injury, especially one that's persistent, is a different kind of challenge. For a striker like Max, whose game relies on volume, precision, and relentless output, hand health is absolutely critical. A compromised right hand doesn't just limit offense, it affects everything: timing, combinations, defense, and confidence. Fighting at anything less than 100% just isn't an option when you're competing at the highest level. What makes this even harder is how much momentum Max had going. Fans were hopeful that he might return to title contention or book another major fight before the year's end. There were rumors, call-outs, and even fantasy matchups being debated online. But now, everything's on hold. And let's not forget, the featherweight division isn't slowing down. New contenders are rising, and every event shifts the landscape. Max's absence creates a vacuum, one that's hard to fill. Because let's face it, there's only one man who can throw 700 punches in a fight and still be smiling in the final round. Only one who's willing to stand in the pocket and say, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC," while dodging punches mid-fight. This is more than just an injury update. It's a pause in the career of one of the sport's most beloved figures. Here's hoping Max gets the treatment he needs and makes a full recovery, because when Max Holloway fights, the whole MMA world watches. Moving on to another wild story, Daniel Cormier hospitalized after eating chicken he cooked. Yes, you heard that right. Former UFC champion and current analyst Daniel Cormier recently shared a bizarre and frightening experience that landed him in the hospital, and the craziest part, it all started with a simple home-cooked meal, chicken, he made himself. Cormier revealed the story during a conversation, casually dropping the bombshell. "I ended up in the hospital the other day, Chad. I was in there for 2 hours, like SO. His tone was light, but the situation was far from minor." He explained that he had been in the kitchen experimenting with a new marinade. It was something he made with his kids, just a fun little family cooking moment, but something in that mixture didn't sit right with his body. Not at all. What started as a simple dinner ended in a serious allergic reaction. "Bro, I had an allergic reaction," Cormier said. "Benadryl didn't work, so I started scratching. I had hives all the way up my body from my legs to my neck, my nose, and everything started swelling." That description alone paints a scary picture. Cormier, a man who's been through brutal fights and walked away with a smile, was suddenly facing a medical emergency because of something he ate in his own kitchen. He described the scene vividly, his body covered in hives, his face swelling, and the itchiness becoming unbearable. "It was bad. Chill. I've got scratches all over my body from just itching," he added. And just like that, dinner turned into a dash to the hospital. For 2 hours, Cormier received treatment to bring his allergic reaction under control. Fortunately, the medical team got things stabilized, and he's doing okay now, but the experience clearly shook him up, and understandably so. This story is a stark reminder that even something as ordinary as a home-cooked meal can turn into a dangerous situation if your body reacts the wrong way. Food allergies can be unpredictable and severe, especially when you're trying out new ingredients or flavor combinations, just like Daniel did with his marinade. For someone as tough and experienced as Daniel Cormier to be sidelined by chicken, that says a lot about how unpredictable life can be. Here's a man who stood across from killers in the octagon, taken bombs from the likes of John Jones and Stipe Miocic, and still kept coming forward, but one meal nearly knocked him out of commission. Thankfully, he's back on his feet and in good spirits. But we'd bet anything that next time he steps into the kitchen, he's gonna keep things a little more basic. Maybe leave the experimental marinades for the professionals. In the end, we're just glad he's safe, because whether he's behind the commentary desk or sharing stories like this one, Daniel Cormier is a beloved figure in the MMA world, and we definitely don't want to see him taken down by a piece of chicken. Let's move on to another big one. Kamzat Chimaev training with Aaron Pico for UFC 3. Things are heating up as UFC 319 approaches, and one of the biggest stories coming out of Fight Camp is the partnership between Kamzat Chimaev and Aaron Pico. Both fighters are in deep preparation, and they've teamed up to sharpen their weapons inside one of the most intense training environments in the sport right now. Kamzat Chimaev, who is set to challenge Drius du Plessis for the middleweight title, is leaving no stone unturned. This is a massive opportunity for him, and he's treating it exactly like that, like war. And joining him in the trenches is none other than Aaron Pico, one of the most promising prospects in MMA, now making his long-awaited UFC debut against Lone Murphy. Together, these two aren't just training, they're grinding. From what we've seen, the sessions are nothing short of brutal. The gym is buzzing with energy and the coaches are locked in, pushing them every second. You can hear it in the background. Come on, that's it, excellent, excellent. Come on, come on, come on, come on, 10 seconds left. That kind of intensity doesn't come from just showing up. It comes from purpose, from knowing that what's waiting on the other side of the cage isn't just another opponent, it's the moment that defines a career. Kamzat is known for his aggression, his pressure, and his ability to dominate both on the feet and on the ground. But what's impressive here is how dialed in he looks. No distractions, no wasted movements, just focus. He's treating every second in camp like it counts, because it does. And Pico? He's not just along for the ride. This is a young fighter who's faced adversity, rebuilt his momentum, and now has the chance to make a real impact on the biggest stage. He's pushing Kamzat, and Kamzat is pushing him. Iron sharpening iron. They're not training partners. They're sparring with the intensity of two men who refuse to be outworked. The chemistry between them is real, and that's rare in fight camps. It's not every day you see two high-level athletes from different stages of their careers come together like this and elevate each other, but that's what's happening here. UFC 319 is shaping up to be an absolute monster of a card, and with this kind of preparation, you can guarantee fireworks. Kamzat is going in to prove he belongs at the top. A belt is on the line. Legacy is on the line, and for Pico, it's the beginning of a brand new chapter in his fighting story. A chapter that could kick off with a statement win. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, this is the kind of training story that makes you excited for fight night. Two beasts, one camp, one goal, dominate. UFC 319. Yeah, it's gonna be special. Next up, Arman Tsarukyan sends a message to Ilia Topuria. This week, tensions in the lightweight division reached a boiling point after a bold statement from Ilia Topuria sparked a fiery response from none other than Arman Tsarukyan. Earlier in the week, Topuria, currently holding the lightweight title, made headlines when he declared that he would rather vacate the belt than defend it against Arman. That's right, he didn't dodge the question. He didn't sidestep it. He flat out said he would give up the title rather than face Tsarukyan in the cage. Now, that kind of comment doesn't just disappear quietly, especially not when the man you're talking about is someone as hungry and dangerous as Arman Tsarukyan. Today, Arman fired back, and he didn't hold back either. He took to X and made his position crystal clear. Who wants to let Ilia know he's not McGregor and that he's making all the champs look bad? That line alone sent shockwaves through the MMA community. It wasn't just a jab, it was a shot across the bow. A clear message to both the champion and the entire division. Arman isn't just waiting around, he's coming for the top. And he didn't stop there. He followed up with "Champs fight the #1 contender." But this is the same guy who thinks he's the BMF. How do you say in Spanish? That closing line? It wasn't just sarcastic, it was strategic. Arman isn't playing the game quietly. He's stepping into the spotlight, and he's doing it with confidence, with purpose, and most importantly, with credibility. He's earned his shot, he's climbed the ranks, he's taken out tough opponents, stayed active, and made it clear that he belongs at the top of the food chain. This message from Arman wasn't just a call out, it was a statement. It was a declaration that he's ready for the spotlight, ready for the pressure, and absolutely ready for that title shot. He's not asking for favors, he's demanding what he's earned, and fans are backing him up. Social media has lit up with support, and more voices are questioning why the champion would refuse a fight with the #1 contender. Ilia Topuria has talent, no one doubts that. He's undefeated, he's confident, and he's got that star power that draws attention. But this is a dangerous look for a champion. Choosing to avoid the toughest challenge in your division, that doesn't sit well with fans. And it definitely doesn't sit well with someone like Arman Tsarukyan. Now the question is simple, will Topuria step up and defend his title like a true champ, or will he stick to his words and walk away from the belt? The pressure's building, the fans are watching, and Arman, he's not going anywhere. He's ready, he's waiting, and he wants the fight. Let's move on to another huge update. Jon Jones shuts down a potential fight. There's been talk, whispers, and rumors about Jon Jones possibly facing off against the legendary Fedor Emelianenko. But Jon Jones is putting those rumors to rest, fast. "Listen, you know what I got in White House?" someone asked. Jon replied, "Yeah. Are you participating? Are you doing..." The man interrupts, "I'd like to be, I'm working toward..." Listen to this. "If that's not happening, I've got an opportunity for you. Red Square." He offered John the idea of a fight in Red Square as an alternative to the White House guard. John replied, "I'm contractually obligated to the UFC, Barbarian." The man tried again. Okay, now listen. If we agree with Dana White, listen. We will bring you to the Red Square as an alternative. Honestly, Dana, I'll speak to you, my friend. He added, and we get someone like Fedor in boxes. John quickly shut that down. No one wants to see Fedor and I play. I don't want to fight. I absolutely love him. He's been one of my big idols for a very long time. He was asked, are you the kind of guy who if you love the guy, you don't want to fight? He answered, yeah, it was the same with Anderson. You know these guys and I don't see this man as a very, very nice guy. True legend, true fighter, and very good human being, brother. Thank you very much. And that is going to wrap it up for today's boxing and MMA news. We had financial reveals, injury reports, hospital scares, training camp wars, title callouts, and fight rumors squashed. From Arman Tsarukyan's billionaire roots to Max Holloway's uncertain return, Daniel Cormier's allergic reaction scare, Kamzat and Pico's intense grind, Arman's message to Ilia and John Jones's respectful refusal to face Fedor, we've covered it all. This sport never slows down. The drama, the action, the humanity, it's all here. We'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and keep it locked in right here. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and stay ready for whatever comes next.